They come from all over, from Iowa to New Mexico.
Let me take you out to your seats.
As far as California. They enjoy the wine, the camaraderie, and the cuisine. But they come for the stories.
This show sold out before it went public.
It's the 20th anniversary of the Buffalo Commons Storytelling and Music Festival, a celebration inspired by a controversial 1987 essay by two East Coast professors.
Frank and Deborah Popper came to McCook, and they were suggesting that we turn this part of the nation back to the buffalo.
Frank and Deborah Popper, our guests today on the Talk of Emporia, talking about the history, the future of the Plains States today.
Millions of acres from Texas all the way up to Canada between the 100th meridian and the Rocky Mountains.
We have no interest in forcing anybody anywhere. People are leaving. People are not able to make it here.
This was a challenge to the people of the community. They stubbornly wanted to prove that wrong, that we are alive and thriving in a very vibrant community. We decided a storytelling festival would be a great way to tell people that we have a deep history here.
The festival draws hundreds of visitors who come back year after year to celebrate storytelling in all its forms.
So please welcome Twyla Hansen.
The Buffalo Commons is really unique in that they value the story.
State Poet Laureate Twyla Hansen is one of this year's featured storytellers.
If I wouldn't smoke, he wouldn't fart. And it was later on I discovered this is what is known as brotherly love.
I think most writers are trying to communicate in some way. And so my goal at this festival is to show that poetry is significant because a lot of people are intimidated by poetry.
I have a theory that almost anything can be written about in a poem. Over pond and blade, their appetite, they bring us fire, restoring a spark of salvation to our crumpled lives. These mysterious gatherers, these silent signalers, these copious lightning bugs of childhood delight.
Thank you. You get up and you share your writing. And I was always very nervous at first, but I realized that people wanted to hear what you had to say, and maybe that'll connect with someone. I think that connection is what writers really want.
Why not walk on the wild side, go with the flow, cut them some slack and live it up?
She had some very funny things that we could all relate to, and then she had some very heartwarming stories.
We're all here. This is glorious. It is so sweet to sell out.
Professional storyteller Andy Irwin isn't from Nebraska, but he connects with the heritage.
What is important about storytelling overall is to continue the truth of a community, and so we have a sense of place.
I'm from Covington, Georgia, 35 miles east of Atlanta, but our big Christmas thing to do was to go see the real Santa Claus at Rich's downtown. Rich's is the old big department store. I see a head nod. Anybody ever heard of Rich's? Anybody ever heard of Atlanta?
When we make emotional connections, when we cognitively connect through laughter or tears, it all connects us.
We can't borrow love if it's gone for good.
Another form of storytelling is through music.
Many of our musical features tell stories about how they came up with the songs, and it becomes a storytelling event prior to the song.
I don't usually get emotional on the mic, but something about being at St. Ertz Bakery and knowing the kind of priority that music has been in a little community here, it really gets to me. So this one goes out to Grandpa. Hymns from the loudest voice till quiet ones rejoice. Your bitter silence tasted.
Did y'all bring something to write with?
With workshops for aspiring writers.
My best advice, I'll just give this right now, is to try to write every day. If you want to be a writer, you need to write. and you need to keep writing even when you can't write. So you write through the junk, you just keep writing, and then you'll get somewhere.
A poetry slam that draws in a younger crowd.
We're little kids inside trying to survive in a messed up world. We're teenagers, and society has killed us. Thank you.
To story time for kids.
Hello, I'm new here, and that's how maybe now, maybe later, or even all day.
Celebrating the Buffalo Commons is no longer just about pride.
If you get up and tell your story in front of your neighbors, your peers, there's kind of a shared intimacy. And I think that's really important for a community. She didn't win.